Hi everyone, I'm Ekta Kapoor and welcome to Ishi TV, where today I'm going to talk about what to do if you don't like your husband. Though I must add that this also includes members of your family whom you don't like but you're kind of stuck with. Now, when I first shared this topic with my friends, I got some really interesting responses like, if you don't like your husband, just divorce him, or leave the kids with him and go off into the mountains for a holiday. But jokes apart, we all know that we live in a country where 95% of girls are married by the time that they're 25. And it's not always a partner of their choice. Most of them are in situations where they really don't have a choice of partner. They don't have a choice when they'll have a child. They don't have a choice of education or having a career. And if you're watching this, if you have an internet connection and you understand English, then you're one of the very privileged few who may have had some kind of agency or choice in her life, which is not available to most of our country women. So let's face that. And even among this population of slightly more privileged women, there are lots who are in a situation, they are in marriages that were not of their choice, but now that they're in it, they kind of have to stick it out to the end, because we all know how badly divorcees are viewed in this country, and it's such a huge taboo that even our prime minister decided to just abandon his wife and not divorce her, because people wouldn't have accepted him probably if he had that divorcee tag on him. So let's accept it. It's a big problem in India, and it's not too easy to leave a partner even if you don't like them, even if there's abuse in the relationship or there's no compatibility, or you just don't have anything in common with that person, but you kind of have to live with them. So we're going to look at those kind of scenarios, and like I said, this also applies to other family members whom you may not like. You may have issues with them, but you have to live with them in the same house, and it's not easy for you to separate yourself from them. It could be a spouse, it could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be some other members of the family. So this also, what I'm going to talk today, also applies under all those situations. Now, I've been in both. I've been in a situation where I didn't like my husband, and I've also been in a situation where I actually like my husband, but then there are some days that we fight with each other, and then I don't like him very much on that particular day. So what I'm going to share with you is from my own experience on what has worked for me in both cases, and actually the rules are the same. Whenever you have an issue with somebody, a relationship issue with somebody in your life, the rules are basically the same, and I'm going to share some of what I've learned in my life with you here. And the first rule of them all is your happiness is your responsibility. So it's not your husband's responsibility, it's not your parents, it's not your children's, it's not anybody else, it's not their responsibility to make you happy. On the contrary, they don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you happiness. Both cases, happiness and unhappiness is in your hands. And if you're unhappy, then taking a step towards happiness is also your responsibility. There's no knight in shining armor. No one's going to come from out there and decide, oh, you know what, Ekta, I'm going to make you happy today. It doesn't happen like that. I decide whether I want to be happy or I don't want to be happy. If I don't like my situation, I have to take a step to get out of that situation or to make myself happy in that situation. But the first step is taking power in my hands and saying that yes, I have the ability, I have the responsibility to make myself happy. No one else is going to do that for me. You see, when you make this one decision, when this click happens in your head, a lot of things change after that. You stop blaming your circumstances, you stop blaming other people for making you unhappy. So that's the first step. Take responsibility for your own happiness. And what is the step that you take once you take this decision that you're going to be happy? The next step is respect yourself. When we respect ourselves, we don't let other people abuse us. We don't let other people take us for granted. We don't let other people hit us. We don't let other people walk all over us, trample on our desires, trample on our self-respect. The fact that somebody else is able to do that and get away with it means that there is a small subconscious part of you that thinks that you don't deserve any better. Maybe you've had an abusive childhood. Maybe you were born in a family that didn't respect you that much. So you've kind of internalized that kind of behavior from other people, and you think that, that's all I deserve. That's what I'm going to get. So somewhere you have to switch that thinking and start thinking of yourself as a goddess. You're a goddess. This is your temple. This is a space that has to be kept completely pure. No negative things are going to come inside this, and you're going to guard it with your life. And nobody can disrespect you. And if they do, your reaction is not that I must have done something. Your reaction is, how dare you? How dare you say that to me? So your whole reactions change when you start respecting yourself, and people cannot take you for granted anymore. People cannot abuse you, your trust. People cannot betray you, because you're just not going to take it. Your whole responses are going to change after that. So respect yourself first of all, and only then will you make that space for other people to respect you. I've talked about this before. Seek your purpose. When you know what your purpose is, when you have a goal and a direction in your life, you're going to keep working towards it with focus, with determination, with concentration, and you're not, frankly, going to have time for all that relationship drama that's going on in your life. You're not going to have time for people who make you feel bad about yourself. You're not going to have time for people who insult you. You're going to have a lot of things to do. You're going to be a busy person, and you're going to be focused on something. Now, of course, in India, a lot of things for women come to having permission. For instance, my purpose may be to be a writer and an editor, but then that may not be my family's, idea of what my purpose should be. And in India, women have to take permission from their families to have a career, or to go out and study, or, even to decide when they want to have their next child, So a lot of these things are, of course, not in your hands. But even then, work towards your purpose. Work towards it, think about it, and start planning for it. Start, at least making the list in your mind that this is what I want to do. Even if you may not have made the outward gesture yet, even if you may not have taken those actions yet, at least start planning in your mind, at least start knowing yourself that this is what I want to do with my life. This is what God has made me for. This is what my strength is. This is what drives me, This is what makes me want to get up every morning and just, be excited to go. Because when you have that kind of a purpose and a mission in your life, it doesn't really matter what people around you are saying. Whatever your family members may be saying, you're going to be focused. Everything is crystal clear for you. You don't take anything personally. You're not bothered by anything. And initially, yes, sometimes there might be some friction. There might be some, naysayers in your environment who may say, this is not done. We don't give you permission to do that. Or, हमारे घर की लड़कियां ऐसे नहीं करती हैं. Whatever, still do it, because it's going to be worth it. And eventually, when they see you happy, and when they see that you're doing something that you love, you're creating value in the world, people are respecting you, you're being noticed, when they see that, eventually a lot of families do come around. So how do you do that? Let's go to the next step. Take baby steps. Take baby steps towards this goal of yours. And what do I mean by baby steps? It means those tiny, it could just be like making a phone call, or, just going and researching something on the internet, or watching a YouTube video to educate yourself. I'll give you an example. When I decided that my purpose is to inspire women, and to empower women, the first thing I did, the first baby step I took, was to check out if the URL ishi.in was available, So that was the first step. And then the next step is to do some research on how to register a magazine, and then how to start a website. So I started doing these tutorials. So, you take a baby step every single day. And when you do that, what happens is you're asserting to the universe that, look, you're ready. You're waiting for this fresh energy to come into your life, and you're making space for it. Sometimes that baby step may be just clearing out your table so that you're making a space for a new computer to come into your life. It could be emptying one cupboard because you expect some new stuff that's going to come that you're going to need to put in that cupboard. So it can be taking any kind of a step in your life in the direction of your dreams. Because when you do that, your dreams also come towards you. So you have to remember that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. The universe wants you to succeed. The universe wants you to work towards your purpose and to be great at it. So remember that and work towards it. Take a baby step every day. Make that call whom somebody you needed to call for a long time but you were putting it off. So do that baby step every day, and eventually you'll notice how things fall in place. Your relationship will fall in place. Things will change. Things will change. Take it from me. It's happened with me, and I'm always blown away by the kind of magic that happens when you take that baby step towards your dreams. And let me share a story with you. When I wanted to start Ishi, this was in May 9, 2017, I set a target for myself that on 1st July, I'm going to have the first issue of Ishi out. But I didn't have a cover girl, I didn't have anything. I had no idea what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this. And, and I wanted a person on the cover somebody I idolized, somebody who was speaking up for women's rights, somebody who was doing something for the feminist cause, someone who was also spiritual, somebody who I could really respect as a person. And I was seeking this person, and at the same time, you have to understand that when you're starting a new magazine, not everybody will be willing to be on the cover because they don't know what your magazine is going to be like, and they have to trust you. So it has to be somebody you know. But for me, I wasn't able to think of who that person could be. And then it so happened that I read a story about Alankrita Srivastav, and she'd made this movie called Lipstick Under My Burqa at that time. But it was stuck at the censor board and it wasn't getting the permission to be released in cinemas in India. And she had been working towards that, and she's also in the same Buddhist practice that I'm in. And I was like, yes, she's the one. She's the one I want for my first cover. And I reached out to her. Now she doesn't know who I am. She had no clue. She'd never heard of me. But she trusted me, and she said okay. She gave me an interview, and she was my first cover girl. And the same month, on the 1st of July, that my magazine was out as per my plan. The same month, she also got the okay from the censor board, and her movie was released in the theaters. So I'm just telling you how magical things work out when you make a goal and then you just work towards it, and then everything else falls in place. You find the people, you find the resources, you get the permissions. Everything just happens. It just falls in place. So I'm just going to repeat all those steps all over again. If you're having relationship issues and if you want to find a way to deal with them, to be happy, first of all, take responsibility for your own happiness. Second, respect yourself. No one else is going to respect you if you don't respect yourself. 3, seek your purpose. And 4, once you know what your purpose is, take baby steps in that direction every single day. Just go after it. I'm telling you, trust me, it's going to work out. Something amazing is going to happen, and something magical is going to happen that you didn't expect. So I bless you with happiness. I bless you with a wonderful relationship. I bless you with your dreams, and may you achieve all of them and even more. So I'll see you all next time. That's all from me today from Ishi TV. Bye-bye.